Hey, J-Bo Nation! Shaming of Jay. He's not a dopey dumb bitch. He gets laid. The court jester. The court DJ. It's time to dive into the case. To the case.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for being here. What is Monday, January 29th? Good morning. Watch the Charlotte, Amy, Amanda, Jonathan, Just Mimi, Donnie, Carrie 28, Jan, Annie. Good morning, Jersey Jen. Thanks for being here, everybody. Appreciate it. What's up, Paulie on the kick machine? Who else is here? Thanks, Catherine, Todd, Ritz, Patsy, Sweet Lou. Thanks for being here, everybody. Good morning. Good morning, Natasha. Good morning, Jean, Ann, Brady, Deb, Christy. Thanks for being here, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, we're ready to go here, folks. Let me squadooshle over there. There we have it. Botrix hasn't woken up yet. Good morning, Tipsy Tracy. There's Creighton. T. Cancella, good morning. Lily, Lisa, Lily Jahan, P.I. Lisa, Michelle Bell. Thanks for being here, everyone. Daniel, good morning. Don't forget to change from top chat to live chat, folks. There's Phil Barber, and now the ceiling. And now the seal. I guess Botrix has not. Oh, looks like it's just. I gotta fix this. Maybe I gotta move. I had to change the settings for the last hearing, and that's always a nightmare. So let's see. Overlays, folks. Overlays. That's what streaming is all about. Overlays. What was I gonna say? For those who may know me, good morning, Betty's Beauty, Chloe and Sally. Did I say T. Cancella? I always forget. Patsy Lucas. Mooney, good morning. For those who may be just familiar with this channel from the Adelson stuff I've been doing, Murdaugh was my first kind of true crime case. I did not follow true crime. Shannon, my wonderful wife, who is in the city right now, New York City, for her, she has to do continuing education to keep her certifications up for her therapy gig. Anyway, I didn't watch anything. She got me into the Murdaugh case. I tweeted the Murdaugh case, and now I'm here. So this is the only other case that I probably know as much as the Adelsons is the Murdaugh case. Although I haven't been paying close detail to the Becky Hill stuff, so this will be an interesting hearing to watch. For folks who didn't hear me, who weren't here on Friday, this will be, unfortunately, this is a half-day hearing for me. I won't be here all day because Shannon's in the city. I got to pick up the kids from school, so I got to be out of here around 1:45. So it just depends on when they're taking lunch, whether I'll stop at lunch or what I'm going to do. We'll figure it out, but I won't be here all day. But thank you, everyone, for being here. I appreciate it. Hit that like button if you can. Good morning, Susan Hicks. Good morning, Stacy. Hot Spice Jess, there she is. Good morning, good morning. Botrix finally entered the channel. Thanks, Botrix, for waking up. Good morning, Lisa, the sober hipster. Good morning, Heather. Thanks for being here. Good morning, Ritz and Todd. I always forget. Sweet Lou got your stickers. Awesome. I'm glad. I always I'm worried because I've messed up the address one or two times, so I'm always glad that these stickers get where they're intended to go. Good morning, Joanne. Thanks for being here, everybody. Thank you, thank you. Just waiting for this to start. As you can see, we're looking at the ceiling, it appears now. But any minute now, we will start this hearing. regarding jury tampering and Becky Hill, who, from what I understand, will testify. But I think being asked questions from the judge, as well as the jurors will be asked questions from Judge Toll, will be interesting. We're going to miss our Judge Newman, folks. No more Judge Newman, the wonderful.
We will bring the jury.
It's now Judge Toll. Good morning, Serena. Thanks for being here, folks. Good morning, Mary Jane. Oh, there he is. Murdering Caillou, that murdering piece of trash. Look at his dumb face. What a dumb idiot. What a dumb murdering piece of trash. Good morning, Debbie, Missy, Sarah. Thanks for being here, everybody. That orange Capri Sun drinking murderer. Look at that piece of shit. What an absolute trash monster. Ooh, who's that gentleman in the back with the yellow jacket? Look at that jacket. Oh, is that like a court officer? Good morning, Rabbit. Debbie says the judge don't play. I have heard that, Debbie. Got to set up. I had to mess up all my settings for the Koberger hearing because that thing was like all weird. Now I got to fix them all. Thanks for being here, everyone. Western New York in the room. Brady Starr. Good morning, Zafiro. Good morning, VHT. Good morning, Andrea. Good morning, Bobby. Thanks for being here, everyone. Bobby says Alex a douche canoe, and I agree with that sentiment. Do I have the emojis on? I think I do. Oh, make that a little bit lower. Good morning, Monica Steebs. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here. You got it, VHC. Thanks for being here. It's a rainy day here in New York. A little cold. Oh, there he is, Pootie Tang. Pootie and the Blowhards. Good morning, Cynthia. Pootie and the Blowhards. Angry Cat Harpootlian. Is it Grumpy Cat or Angry Cat? I never remember. Jan says, should be interesting to hear Becky Hill's testimony this afternoon since they found her factory reset government-issued phone, if she doesn't plead the fifth. Oof, boy. Oof, boy, Becky. What's up, MJ? Good to see you. I remember... Good morning, Jill. Hey, Jill. Good to see you. Hey, Carrie28. I remember when they first came out with the jury tampering charges, there was a press conference, and me and Bob live streamed it, Bob Mata, and Bob was like, listen, no attorney is going to do, we know that people hate Pootie Tang and the Blowhards. They hate them. Brad! Oh, shit, there he is. Check out the big brains on Brad. So good to see you. What was I saying? And Bob was like, listen, no attorney is going to put their license on the line to make this stuff up. There's probably something, in this. And people were coming at me and Bob like, no, Becky Hill would never. And boy, oh boy, it seems like Becky Hill has some questionable things going on. Jan, a member for 3 months. Thank you so much, Jan. You're the best. Thanks everyone for being here. If you haven't hit that like button, please hit. Oh, Alan Wilson there. Alan Wilson, and there's the guy next to him. I forget his name, who sounds like Hank Hill. Oh, there's Meadors. The gang's back, folks. The gang's back. Look at Meadors. He is already done and hasn't even started yet. My mic is all the way up. I'm going to turn that down. Sorry if I blew out your eardrums. Helen Steiner, good to see you, Helen. The dogs love the treats you got. Thank you so much. Oh, shit. Jan is coming in hot, gifting out 5 memberships. Jan, you are the best and so supportive and always just helping out, Jan. Thank you so much. You are awesome, Jan. Thank you, Jan. Get your Capri Suns out, folks.
Because I'm going to bunk with you, buddy. We're going to be buddies. We're going to be pals. We're going to wrestle around.
Thanks, Natalie. I'm knocking on the door. I'm knocking on the door of 12K, folks. Knocking on the door. Can move this back down here. All right, calm down, Chris. We got it. Hey, Betty. Thanks for being here, everyone. Helen, I'll tell you a story about the treats. So Helen was kind enough to get from our wish list these marrow bones that have like stuffing inside them. Again, thank you, Helen. So I give it to them, and they're like decently sized, like this big. That's what she said. And I give them to the dogs, and normally I close the crate for Prudence. Prudence goes in her crate because Penny always steals them. But I'm like, these are heavy. There's no way that Penny's going to steal this from Prudence. I go to the bathroom. I come out. Catherine Grow just sent a super chat. Thank you so much. Catherine said Murdaugh is still guilty. I come out of the bathroom, and Penny's got both of the bones, her paw on one of them, and eating and chewing on the other one, as Prudence is next to her just looking at her, because Penny bullies Prudence big time. So. Oh, shit. Jan adopted YOLO. She had fostered a dog that she adopted. Awesome, Jan. Good morning, Ted. Good to see you. Hey, Chloe and Sally. One Law 214 says, I audited Marlborough County over the weekend. My conclusion is that the corrupt officials rule South Carolina, including SLUD. I guess we'll find out, huh? Thanks so much, everyone, for being here. I appreciate it. I did tell Penny to share, Helen, but she doesn't listen to me. Wow, we already almost have 100 likes. Thank you, guys. You guys are seriously the best. I appreciate your support so much. There's our man, the closer, John Meadors. Hey, Afie, good to see you. Man, the whole gang is here. Oh, I follow him, Johnny something, John something. I forget his name. His name is Johnny James on Twitter. There's Creighton. Brad says, Dawn says, 1 year ago, following your comments on X, and now you're streaming. Congrats. Thank you so much, Dawn. Thanks for being here. Brad says, Meadors gives serious Matlock vibes. Oh, there's Susan Smith. Larry, what's up? Good morning, Larry. Good morning, Queen Vic. Good morning, Sweet Pea. Good question. Is Doug on the Elmo there? Hey, Miss Dina on the Kick Machine. Thanks for being here, everyone. We appreciate it. We know you have other places you can watch it, and we appreciate you being here very much. Thank you, mods, for always doing a great job. That's right. Creighton and his team do. Oh, there's the murderer, Caillou. What are you laughing at? I hate when he smiles and laughs. Get that shit-eating grin off your face, you piece of shit. Good morning, Aubines. You're the best, Catherine. Thank you so much for the super chat. Donate or... Caillou Killers, right, Amy. And the funny thing is, the first time I did this, first time I watched Murdaugh was all tweets, like Dawn said, and now we're actually watching it. So that's kind of almost full circle. Hey, Heather. Hey, Queen Vic. I hope I got everyone. I hate when I miss people. Thanks, everyone, for being here. Almost 200 folks in the chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for being here. Zafiro says those tweets are how I found you originally. Crazy how it is crazy how time flies. I was still working my shit job that I hated so much. Good morning, Beach Bum. Thanks for being here. I only have had one coffee, Charlotte. Hey, Natasha. I feel like I'm repeating people I said good morning to. You're the best, Queen Vic. Thank you. Was that Joe McCullough? Didn't he just have a heart attack? That is Joe McCullough. I feel like he just recently had a heart attack, right? Joanne gifting a membership to Beach Bum. Thanks so much, Joanne. You're awesome.
Bing bong.
Bing bong.
Because I'm going to bunk with you, buddy. We're going to be buddies. We're going to be pals. We're going to wrestle around.
We love you, Bobby. We're so glad you're here. What's up, Steve-O? Good to see you, Steve. If you haven't checked out Steve's video on Idaho 4, make sure to check it out. He did a great job on that. Good morning, Renee from Philly, PA. Joanne's the best. Thank you, Joanne. What's up, Shannon Lobo? I'm forgetting if I'm saying everyone's name. Thanks for being here, everybody. We appreciate you spending this time with us. We sure do. So these subs that keep coming up, I feel like are over the weekend. Good morning, Suzanne. Oh, I thought they were standing for the judge. Afy on the kick machine. What is with the numbers, man? I don't know what these numbers are on YouTube. So like I go from 200 to 100. It's wild how they fluctuate like that. Look at this idiot with his dumb glasses and his dumb face. Good morning, Tamara B. Thanks for being here. Donnie was here earlier, Joanne. I don't know where he went. We got some good camera work, I'll say that. Yeah, good point by Carrie 28. If you have blood pressure med, take it. Extreme close up on this piece of garbage. What are we doing? Let's move the camera back. It's a little too close. Let's move the camera. It's a little too close on this fucking guy. Well, thanks for being here, Lisa. Appreciate it. She's been following the Oxford High shooting mom trial. Yeah, that's something in that case. Good morning, Patty. Thanks for being here. There's Donnie Boy. What's up, Janet? Good morning. Take care, Shannon. Thanks for being here. By the way, do you guys know that I pronounced this guy's name for the? It's Murdoch. I probably did it again this morning. Murdoch. Good morning, Lady Bird. Good morning, Cindy Arnold. Um, now I'm blanking. Hold on. By the way, thanks everyone who liked and commented and shared my latest Why Wendy is Going Down video. It did very well, and that's because of you guys liking, retweeting, sharing. So I really appreciate that. Thank you for showing the support on that video. I have another video in mind. It's not Why Wendy is Going Down, but it's Adelson related. So I'm going to start working on that today. Michael DeWitt is the one who told me I've been pronouncing Murdoch wrong the whole time. It's Murdoch. Murdoch. Kind of like the A-Team, right? Wasn't that Murdoch? Thank you, Louie. Louie, thanks for being here. Tracy K on Kick. K, Tracy, hope you're feeling all right. Murdoch on his mind. Murdoch on his mind. Murdoch. Amber says Alec Murdick. I also when I had Michael on, I pronounced Grizzard wrong, and I got in trouble for that. Well, I didn't get in trouble, but I should. I probably should have known better. Oh, there's isn't that Lori, the lawyer Lori? I don't know her name. I've seen her on Twitter. I know her first name is Lori, right? Good morning, Next Chapter. Thanks for being here. It is a big courtroom, Janet. That works too, Murdick. That works. Kim, hello, Spring. Good to see you. Donnie, I'm sorry your Ravens lost, Donnie. I know that must have been crushing. I was cheering for you, Donnie. C. Kinsella says, I have trouble expressing myself clearly at times. I live vicariously through Jay, saying things I'd never dream of. Is one of those jabroni? Thanks, Brady. Hey, Donna White. I was too, Donnie. I was cheering for the Ravens. I wanted them to win. Yeah, that was a bummer to see. I really wanted the Lions to win. That was a bummer. Good morning, Amy Albers. Good to see you. Next chapter says, glad that Alec has a shirt on. You're not kidding. That was the grossest. That's a good question. I wonder if Buster's there. Joe, what's up, Joe? Good to see you, Joe. Look at this courtroom. Oh, they're standing up. Here comes Judge Toll. Apparently, Judge Toll is no joke. Please don't tell me this is me. I don't have any audio. Hey, Darklyn. Can anyone tell me if there's audio? Is this better not just be me? Thank you, Jan. Hey, Miko. What is going on right now? All right. Thank you, guys. It's not me, guys. No one has audio. These dopes haven't figured out how to stream a trial. Put on the audio. What are you doing? What's up, Miko?
But I don't want any photographs taken of the jurors by the media. With respect to the rest of the audience, if you have devices, cell phones, iPads, or anything of that nature, please silence them. Please do not use them. The press is allowed to use their devices in order to make notes, but the press is not making any photographs either. I have a pool photographer as well as a pool court TV arrangement, and that's what will be used to photograph, and those materials will of course be fed and available to the press. I think if there's anything else. All right. All right, the jurors are in place in the jury room, Mr. Bailiff.
Hey, Shy Girl. Thanks for being here, everyone.
Sure.
Hey, Amanda J.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, you have a list of questions you.
Oh, God, here we go.
Yes, sir.
Shut up.
Went through those with juror
Z. Or X.
X. I knew it was one of those. The third question you say, did you hear Ms. Becky Hill make any comments about the merits of this case before your verdict?
Yes, sir.
And clearly the juror didn't understand what the word merits meant.
I disagree with that, but you may make your record about that. I think the juror understood what was being asked. And frankly, in some of the materials that we've exchanged back and forth about questions, you yourself have used the word merit. So she was confused.
Well, Your Honor,
Suck on that,
I make a mistake.
Pootie Tang.
I think in this case, perhaps you've made a mistake. And if you would just respectfully use the words, did make any comment
Respectfully, shut the hole in your head, you dumb idiot.
about the case before your verdict. Just leaves out their judgment about merits. They don't know merits is a legal word.
I will take what you say into account, but I have already examined one juror using that term, and you now say that that term confused the juror. You have that on the record, and certainly would be able to argue that to any of the appellate courts that review what I do here, but my intention is to use the language that I used with the juror I've already interviewed.
But, Your Honor, you went and did a follow-up question, our request, which elaborated on what that meant. And certainly, after you asked that question, we think that clarified it, and you could use merits or anything else about the case and deal with both issues. I just think it's going to require us, based on statements that these jurors have given to SWED, to ask very specific questions.
Okay, I understand what you're asking. Let me ask you this, Mr. Harpootlian. Do you happen to have the transcript of Friday's proceedings?
Of course he doesn't. This judge isn't messing around.
Do you all happen to have a transcript of Friday's proceedings?
Dude, this judge, I like this judge already. She is not messing around. She is not taking...
Belay that. I've got a copy. Let me look at it for a minute to see what I did in clarification, and so just pause for a minute. Let me look at that.
Oh, man, I so far I like this judge. She is not taking Pootie Tang's shit. Thanks for being here, guys. If you could hit that like button if you haven't already. Donna says she is a South Carolina rock star. Awesome. Former Supreme Court Justice for South Carolina.
I look at this transcript, and the only thing I note.
Wait, there's
Hang on.
Okay. Okay, these were the
hang on.
follow-up questions.
Okay, all right. I said this. I asked the attorneys for any further commentary about the questions I asked, and I have been asked to ask one more question, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to read you a memorandum by the state to counsel for the defense and then ask you about it, all right?
You got the
What's up, Robert?
And then here's what I read. Per Chief Attorney Waters, please be advised that the attorney for Juror X has told us that his client says that prior to the defendant's testimony, his client did hear Clerk Hill say words to the effect of, quote, looks like the defendant is going to testify, this is an important day, close quote. Or, quote, this is an epic day, close quote. And that there was some statement that it was rare for a defendant to testify. And then I said, Juror X, can you verify that what I've read is something you heard and told your attorney? And she says, yes, ma'am. Very good. Did these statements have any impact on your verdict? No, ma'am. Very good. I will ask that question.
Well,
I didn't change well, I've read you what I asked. I will be glad to do that again.
Your Honor, different jurors say different things based on the memorandums we've received.
I won't say you told your attorney or anything like that, but I will ask about that statement having been made.
Your Honor, just for the record, we believe the term merits is a term of art, just as if you asked him was there probable cause.
A term of art? Shut the fuck up. This guy, it's been 10 minutes and I can't stand it.
Again, or anything else, we're not asking you to open Pandora's box.
Shut
I
up!
hear what you say, and
Sit down!
I'll take it into account.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Waters, anything on your behalf?
I do not have anything further, Your Honor. We believe the term is self-explanatory.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Ladybird. Facts. He just loves to hear himself speak. Just loves it. Yum, 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 yum. He just eats up his voice. He loves it. It's delicious to him.
Just so you know, Mr. Harpootlian, I'll have to go to my screen to do this other, but the third question will read, did you hear Ms. Becky Hill make any comment about this case before the verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, that's what I'll ask. All right. All right, Mr. Bailiff, bring me the jury.
All right, folks, here we go. Didn't have the same sound to it, folks. Well, gotta put the volume up.
You will bring the jury.
Yes.
What's up, Brooklyn? Don't you even look at them, you piece of shit. T. Cancella says there is a fantastic lecture given by Judge Toll on University of Georgia Law School YouTube on women in law. She is a trailblazer. Awesome.
It's the same thing except without.
Yeah.
Basically.
80 years young.
Thank you very much.
What a badass.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the State versus Murdaugh jury. I wanted to make a few opening remarks to you before I question each of you about the matter. You have done absolutely nothing wrong. None of you, not any of you. You didn't ask to serve, but you served and did your duty. This was an unusually difficult trial because of its length. 6 weeks is almost unheard of in South Carolina as the length of a case. It was difficult because of the intense publicity and public interest in the case. It was difficult because of the complexity of testimony and exhibits in the case. And you acquitted yourself honorably. So this question today is not about anything you did wrong. Please be assured of that. I respect you and I respect your service. Today, I'm going to ask you to do something that's difficult. This case is unique. Most of the time, if there's some issue about improper conduct or contact with a juror, it comes up immediately. The judge puts questions to the juror and perhaps to the person who may have made an improper comment, and then you go on to verdict. Or sometimes it's very shortly after the verdict is rendered. And again, the judge questions the affected jurors and the supposed interference and makes a ruling right then and there on either a new trial or a mistrial. Now here, we are almost a year after your beginning of service on this case. And that makes it mighty difficult for you to do something I'm going to ask you to do, and it's this. Today, I ask you to focus your attention. What is that?
What the hell is going on?
Mr. Bailiff, what is that noise? Is that the sound system doing
I
that?
believe it's the court sound system.
This is the funkiest sound system in the world, so you just have to keep up with it. I've had trouble in every case I've ever tried with
It's DJ Roomba.
the sound system. So
What do they call it on Parks and Rec? DJ Roomba?
yeah, jurors, if something happens and the sound system goes haywire, we'll stop for a minute until it stops. Now, as I was saying, I want you to focus your attention as you answer the questions I'm going to ask you on your 6 weeks of experience as a juror in this case, and on the point in the trial where the judge charged you, and on your verdict as you rendered it on March the 2nd, 2023. That's what I want the focus to be. And again, I know I'm asking a lot to have you cast yourself back into that time, but that's what the questions I'm asking are about that time and not about this time. There has been so much drama about this matter since the verdict was rendered, and my heart goes out to everyone, the lawyers and you who are in this trial. That I can't help. But I've been asked by the Supreme Court to take a look at this issue. The appeal is on pause until I do, and I've got to do my duty as I see it. And you do yours as I know you see it. So I thank you very much, and it's a terrible inconvenience of calling you all back together now. But it's very essential to completing the record about this case and placing it before the appellate authorities as it needs to be. So in advance, I thank you. What I'm going to do now is dismiss you to the jury room, and one by one, I will call you, and I will refer to you by a letter that I have just assigned you that isn't your jury number and certainly isn't your name. You know, these people in the media saw y'all all through the trial. They probably know who you are. But I'm trying to do my duty as I see it when I make your appearance here anonymous to the record. And only the court reporter will have a sealed document by me indicating what the key means in terms of your juror number and your name. So I'm doing everything I can do about this matter. But it goes without saying that your business is your own business. You don't have to interview with a soul, not lawyers, not media, not anyone after this matter. That choice is purely yours. And I will respect that and protect that to the best I can if anything comes up afterwards. All right, you may go to the jury room.
A lot of fans of Judge Toll. By the way, if you didn't know, they will not be showing the jurors. We will just hear audio of the jurors. I don't know about you guys, but I'm thinking about that young guy that was on like the Today Show. He was so well spoken and so young. I don't remember his name.
All right, Mr. Bailiff, bring me Juror Z.
One other matter.
Oh.
One of the individuals sitting in the jury box had called this the next jury, liar publicly. I'd ask that that'd be Mr. Bland and his partner, cohort, not sit behind her or near her while she's testifying. I object.
Well, just a minute.
Your Honor, I object to him speaking.
One moment. We're not going to have a big colloquy about this. Keep your seat for a moment, Mr. Harput.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Bland, you do the same. Mr. Bender, is there a seat over next to you?
There is.
Mr. Bland, will you go over and sit next to Mr. Bender, please? Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
For the record, I have some people in the jury box. Two of them are SLED agents. One of them is the media consultant, and one of them is attorney for several of the jurors, Mr. Bland. And that's being done at my direction.
And Justice told you have Scott Mongillo and Blaine Richter also in the jury box.
Very good. Yes, sir. That's fine. All right. Bring me Juror Z.
That sound effect is me wanting to punch this idiot in the face.
Ah, horse shit!
Puda. Puda. Puda.
Thanks for being here, everyone, and watching this with us. We appreciate
Juror
it.
Z, you may take the witness box after you are sworn. Step over here to the clerk, and she will administer the oath.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you for this.
Juror Z, I will ask you some questions, and there are no right or wrong answers. The truth is what I seek, and that is the truth of what you experienced in relation to these questions at the State versus Murdoch trial. You rendered a verdict on March the 2nd, 2023. That verdict was read in open court by the foreperson of the jury. And then the court said this: Madam Forelady and members of the jury, if that is your verdict of each and every juror, let it be known by raising your hand. The transcript then indicates that the jurors complied. The jury was individually polled, and each was asked, was that your verdict? Each juror answered yes. Each juror was then asked, is that still your verdict? And each juror answered yes. Was that an accurate statement about your verdict at that time?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Was your verdict based entirely on the testimony evidence and law presented to you in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you hear Ms. Becky Hill make any comment about this case before your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Uh-oh.
If yes, what did Ms. Hill say?
Oh, my Lanta.
To watch his actions.
Oh, my
Watch his
God.
actions. What else?
To watch him closely.
Oh,
Watch him
my
closely.
God.
Anything else you remember?
There is, but I can't remember.
Okay, that's fine.
He's getting a new trial. He's getting a new trial.
Was your
That's it
verdict
right there.
On March the 2nd,
Still not enough?
2023, in any way, with any influenced in any way with any communications by the clerk of court, Becky Hill, in this case? Want me to
Yes,
read it
ma'am.
again?
Yes,
Oh!
please.
All right. Was your verdict influenced in any way by the communications of the clerk of court in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, my
And
God.
how was it influenced?
To me, it felt like she made it seem like he was already guilty.
Oh, my God.
And I understand that. That's the tenor of the remarks she made. Did that affect your finding of guilty in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Be at ease.
Oh, my Lanta.
Those are my questions are submitted to the juror. Are there any reactions, further questions, and so forth? If there are, and you would like to voice them, I can ask the juror to retire to the jury room. Just tell me whether I need to do that. All right, sir.
Wow, guys. Holy shit. Holy shit.
Your Honor, we asked the juror we need to put some things on the record.
All right. Take the juror to the jury room, please.
How could there possibly not be a retrial after that? I mean, I'm no expert, just a dummy yelling at a screen. How can there possibly not be a retrial? And by the way, if you're new to me following this case, no one thinks Alex Murdaugh is more guilty than me. But he deserved a fair trial. And we just had a juror who said she was influenced by the court clerk.
Your Honor, in the affidavit that was given by this particular juror, paragraph 10 said, I had questions about Mr. Murdaugh's guilt, but I vote guilty because I felt pressured by the other jurors. We would request an inquiry as to that, which is how, when this motion was filed, she expressed the basis for her verdict, which obviously this answer is a little different now. So we would request a brief inquiry from the court as to that specific issue.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, as to two things. The first thing is, he is correct. She gave an affidavit. We would ask Your Honor to let her read her affidavit to refresh her memory of, she said other things. They're very detailed in here. We'd ask you to, and let me hand up to the court a copy of her affidavit and ask you to have her read it before she's asked any other.
What I have here from Mr. Waters, for the record, Mr. Waters, what I've been handed for the record is something, affidavit of juror, now referred to as Z. It was taken August the 14th, 2023. It was sworn before Holly Miller, paralegal for Mr. Harpootlian. and he would like for me to give that to the juror and ask her to read it and then ask her about it. I'm inclined to do that, but I want to hear from you first.
Your Honor, again, if they want to refresh the recollection, that's fine with the state, so we have no objection to that.
Very good. It will be done.
Your Honor, also we would ask that you not ask the question that that Mr. Waters asked you to ask, because it violates Rule 606B, which provides upon an inquiry into the validity of a verdict or indictment, a juror may not testify to the effect of anything upon that or any other juror's mind or emotions.
What was the question he asked?
If you look at that affidavit,
It's paragraph 10, Your Honor.
Paragraph 10.
It's in the very affidavit.
She said she was influenced by other jurors.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to ask her about that. I'm going to give her the affidavit, and then I'm going to question her about it.
And we would, for the record, indicate that we object to that under 606B.
Your Honor, from our perspective, she's put an
And
issue.
you're the one that asked me to have her look at this affidavit, but you're telling me I can't question about it? I deny that objection.
Your Honor, if it's something that's inadmissible, you should not ask her about it. And that's
Well, you
I do love how Judge Toll is handling Pootie Tang. This is amazing.
want me to admit it and have her examined
No, I
on it.
want you to have her read it to refresh her memory.
We're quibbling, Mr. Harper, we're quibbling about things that I'm not going to take time to quibble about. My ruling is, pursuant to your request, I am going to allow the juror to examine her affidavit, and then I'm going to question her about it. That's my ruling. Your objection is overruled.
For the record, I just want to note, Your Honor, just for the record.
You noted 6.
Bitch! She just said we're not quibbling. Sit your quibbling bitch ass down, bitch!
6, I hear you noted.
Noted, bitch!
And in no way
Sit
waiving
down.
anything or opening any door by asking you to let her examine.
That's
Sit down, you
a higher
quibbling
court
bitch.
than me to decide.
Well, I understand that, and that's why I want to make sure when they read this transcript,
Bitch,
there's no
sit
confusion.
down.
I'm not asking you to put that into evidence. I'm asking you to
Well, I
let
don't
the
see
jury
how in
judge.
the world I can question the juror about something and not put it into evidence. You can't have your cake and eat it too, Mr. Harpootlian. You could have been very satisfied with the answers that were already given, but you have chosen to ask about this.
Withdraw the request.
Denied.
Denied, you
Your Honor,
quibbling bitch!
all the time we ask witnesses
Sit
to
your
examine
quibbling
the
bitch
conversation.
ass
Harpootlian,
down,
I'm
bitch!
Please take your seat. All right, bring me jurors.
Oh my god, did you just see that face on fucking Quibbly bitch? Look at the face. This woman is a queen. Watch his face.
Your seat. All right,
Sit
bring
down,
me
you quibbling
jurors
bitch.
Get me another copy.
It's in here.
Yeah.
It's in here.
And guys,
Yeah.
for folks who watched the trial from me originally through tweets with all caps, this is me all cap tweeting. This is what I sounded like when I was tweeting those live tweets.
Microphone to you, please. Keep your voice up.
If you're new to the channel and you would like me to not curse, I'm sorry, but you're on the wrong channel. And you should probably find a new one if you're looking for someone to not curse. That ain't my channel. Why do I have the ring of death here? Hey, Indy Cindy. Bye, Nancy. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Is this me? Please don't tell me this is me. Is this Law and Crime or Court TV? See what you did, Nancy? You see what you did, Nancy? You had to come in here and announce her exit. And now you ruined the stream. All right. What the hell is going on? are you laughing at, Barber? Barber's all blush. For the people that appreciate my cursing and are here, I appreciate you. I know I'm not for everyone, and I appreciate all the folks who appreciate who I am for. And like some other folks who have said before so eloquently, this ain't no airport. You don't have to announce your departure. Love you guys. Hey, Lindsay, good to see you. Hey, Beezy, 49. Honestly, I was saying bitch. I mean, jeez. Hey, grandkids galore. Hey, Indy Cindy. Thanks, everyone, for being here. We appreciate it. Already 170 likes on the stream. Thank you so much, everyone. Oh, Jersey Jen. Hey, Mia. Hey, Groot.
The first paragraph, of course, is a statement that you would.
I said money! Money! Jay, you rock. Never change.
Thank you so much, Jersey Jen. Hey, Bree Walker. Good to see everyone.
Case. Second paragraph says, toward the end of the trial after the President's Day break, but before Mr. Murdaugh testified, the clerk of court, Rebecca Hill, told the jury, quote, not to be fooled, unquote, by the evidence presented by Mr. Murdaugh's attorneys, which I understood to mean that Mr. Murdaugh would lie when he testifies. Is that what your recollection is of that statement?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything in the statement that, on reflection, you think is not correct?
No, ma'am.
All right. Number 3, she also instructed the jury to, quote, watch him closely, quote, immediately before he testified, including, quote, look at his actions, quote, and, quote, look at his movements, quote, which I understood to mean he was guilty. Is that an accurate recitation of your view of the matter?
Yes, ma'am.
Number 4, paragraph 4. Immediately after he testified, the foreperson
Jay curses.
said,
we love it, and if you don't,
Mr. Murdaugh
take
was
yourself out the exit.
crying on cue. Is that an accurate statement of what you saw and heard?
Yes, ma'am.
5, the foreperson criticized the former foreperson for handing Mr. Murdaugh a box of tissues when he was crying on the stand while testifying about his murdered son. She told the jury we cannot interact with Mr. Murdaugh because that's what the defense wants us to do. Do you still stand by that recitation of that conversation?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Number 6, the jury frequently discussed the case during breaks before deliberation. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Number 7, toward the end of the trial, Ms. Hill came into the jury room a lot. Is that your recollection?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Hill and the foreperson had private conversations on multiple occasions. The foreperson would tell the bailiff that she needed to speak with Ms. Hill. Ms. Hill would arrive, and then she and the foreperson would go to another room for a private conversation. The conversations typically lasted 5 to 10 minutes. The foreperson never said anything about the content of the conversation. For example, she never communicated logistical information after these conversations. This happened 2 or more times, more frequently towards the end of the trial. Is that still your recollection of the interaction?
Yes, ma'am.
9, when we began deliberations, Ms. Hill told us this shouldn't take us long, quote, and if we deliberated past 11 p.m., we would be taken directly to a hotel. We had driven from our homes that morning and were not prepared to stay overnight. Additionally, smokers on the jury asked to be allowed to take smoke breaks, but they were told they could not smoke until after the deliberations were complete. Did you hear that?
Yes, ma'am.
Including the business about the smokers?
Yes, ma'am.
All right? Number 10, I had questions about Mr. Murdoch's guilt, but voted guilty because I felt pressured by the other jurors. Is that an accurate statement about your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
After the verdict and immediately before sentencing, Ms. Hill pressured the jury to speak as a group to reporters from a television show. Is that an accurate statement of what she said?
Yes, ma'am.
And did some jurors decline to do that?
Yes, ma'am.
This shit is wild. Thank you so much, Janet. Thank you so much, Laura, for the super chats. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Thank you. And Beezy, 2-month member. Thank you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, Roseanne, good to see you. Thank you, Cynthia. Missy, it looks like we are going to have a retrial. I mean, how can we not? I'm no attorney, but how could we not have another trial? Agreed, grandkids galore. Agree. He's 100% guilty, but everyone deserves a fair trial without a clerk talking to the jurors and influencing them. Come on.
Juror Z, I asked you previously, was your verdict on March the 2nd, 2023 influenced in any way by communications from Becky Hill, the clerk of court? You answered that question, yes. In light of what you said in the affidavit, which is I had questions about Mr. Murdoch's guilt but voted guilty because I felt pressured by the other jurors. Is that answer that I just read a more accurate statement of how you felt?
Yes.
Overruled.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So you do stand by the affidavit?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Thank you. All right. You may go to the jury room. And let me just explain to you what the procedure will be. I'm calling the rest of the jurors, of course, one by one. When I am finished with that, I will bring you out as a group one more time, and then you're free to leave. You don't have to stay. Okay? Very good. You may go to the jury room. What's that?
Before this juror is excused, but after she steps out, I'd like to address
All
the
right.
court.
You may be excused.
Oh, God, this quibbling bitch again. Why does he have to say something every time? Just shut up. Pootie the Quibbler. Pootie and the Quibblers.
Your Honor, just very quickly, I do have a redacted copy I can hand over to the court if you want to make that use of the court's exhibit, please.
That's good. What I'm going to try to do is redact as I did in the as you did in the document that you sent me. The identifying thing redacted now.
He has an extra copy of the redacted.
I have
Oh,
it right here.
oh, good. That's great. That would be wonderful. Show it to Mr. Harpootlian.
I see.
Very good. Thank you. That's the one I will give to the court reporter, but I think you can see that I asked off of it. This is a court's exhibit.
3.
Court's exhibit 3.
And Your Honor, just to be clear, that does still have the juror numbers in it. It does not have the letters.
What I'd ask you to do, Elizabeth, is take off the juror numbers, just strike them through, and then where it says affidavit of juror and gives a number, just strike that out and you can put in pen Z. Thank you.
Hey, Mom on kick.
Yes, sir. Mr. Harper.
Your Honor, we objected to the questioning because this juror gave 2 statements under oath, one in an affidavit and one here to you today. The one here today was Becky Hill influenced her verdict.
Yes.
The one she gave in an affidavit 6 months ago was based on jurors. It could be both. Your Honor picked out the one in the affidavit from 6 months ago and said, is that a more accurate statement? That presupposes and suggests to her what she should say. And we believe that this juror's testimony, and Your Honor, I'm afraid what you're going to say is, well, she said the affidavit was more accurate than what she testified under oath here today, and therefore I'm not going to consider her testimony. And I think that's where we're heading here. I'd ask you to bring her back in, explain to her there's nothing wrong with it both being true.
I decline to do that and overrule the objection. All right.
Sit down, you equivalent bitch. She's done with you, sir. Sit down. Oh, I love how
Mr.
she's
Bailey?
handling him.
Yes, sir.
My man is dejected. By the way, folks, this is just the second juror who has been questioned. First juror was on Friday without streaming, so we got a bunch of jurors to go. And thank you all for being here. We appreciate you. Only 9 more likes to 200. Oh, and if you're new to the channel, shocker, spoiler, I curse sometimes. It's not all the time. I'm not cursing the entire stream, but sometimes when I get a little upset, an expletive flies. So just letting you know. Oh, there's Matt Johnson from Court TV. I see him in the background. Look at these guys. They can't believe this is happening. Look at Meadors. He cannot believe it.
Counsel, I have to report this to you, and I'm very, very unhappy about it. But there's nothing
What is
to
going
do
on?
but put it on the record, and then I will proceed with questioning the rest of the jurors. The jurors' cell phones were not confiscated or taken from them, and they tuned this thing in on Court TV and listened to all of what just went on.
Oh my God.
So you may.
Oh my! How can this be more of a shit show? How can this be more of a shit show? The jurors were watching Court TV. They didn't take their phones from them. What the fuck is happening?
Make whatever statement you like to make, and then I'm gonna go on and question the jurors. I will tell you in advance.
What a clown show!
Stop the proceedings or do anything to interrupt them. I'm going to get the rest of this on the record. You might imagine that they no longer have their cell phones with them.
Your Honor, we have a 5-minute recess to discuss what we need to put on the record. I mean, this is.
I'm not going to take all day on this thing. I report things as they come to me. I will give you a couple of minutes, and then we're going to. They were late getting here. I didn't get to start on time like I wanted to, so I need to just calm down a little bit. But I tell you, don't take any long period of time. Court will be in recess for 5 minutes.
Holy shit. Holy shit. Oh, I cannot believe it. This is unbelievable. Well, I hope if they were watching the stream, they liked it. Imagine they were watching me right now. Yeah, can I recap? I guess I'll try to recap. If you're coming in late, the first juror that was questioned advised that she was influenced by Becky Hill's, what Becky Hill was saying to her. Her verdict was influenced by Becky Hill. They were about to go to the next juror, and the judge just told everyone that the jurors who were sequestered, who were in the jury room while the other juror was questioned, all had their phones on and were watching court TV. What the fuck? What the fuck? How could no one know that they were just sitting in the jury room with their phone watching court TV and no one was like, guys, turn off your fucking phones. How can that happen? This is a clown show of epic proportions. Hey, hi, jurors. Smash that like button. Subscribe, jurors. If you want to come on for an interview, I'd love to talk to you, jurors. What the fuck? What the fuck? Full on clown show. Hold on. I don't have this music. Let me see if I can get it right now. Let's go to my instant sounds. Let's go to clown music. Let's see if we got it here. Let's see if this works. Hopefully it's not too loud. Here we go. Hopefully I don't get a copyright claim for that. No one owns that music, right? I mean, we're getting a new trial. I can't imagine we're not getting a new trial, but what do I know? Well, my computer just froze trying to download that clown music. I'll have to do that when I'm off the stream. All right, guys. Again, if you're coming in late, the first juror came in. The judge questioned the juror. She asked her, was your opinion influenced by Becky Hill? I mean, in a roundabout. I mean, was your verdict influenced by Becky Hill? The juror said yes. And then the judge just came back and said all the jurors were watching the hearing on their cell phone while that other juror was being questioned. How is this real life? I mean, my concern about rewinding it is that I'll miss it if it goes live. All right, if someone could just tell me if it goes live, I can rewind a little bit, at least the part about the juror. Let me know.
Counsel, I have to report this to you, and I'm very, very unhappy about it, but there's nothing to do but put it on the record, and then I will proceed with questioning the rest of the jurors. The jurors' cell phones were not confiscated or taken from them, and they tuned this thing in on court TV and listened to all of what just went on.
A gasp in the audience.
So, you may make whatever statement you like to make, and then I'm going to go on and question the jurors. I will tell you in advance, I am not going to stop the proceedings or do anything to interrupt them. I'm going to get the rest of this on the record. You might imagine that they no longer have their cell phones with them.
Your Honor, we have a 5-minute recess.
All right, it's not live yet. I could try to go back when she's questioning the juror, too.
There it is, but I can't remember.
Okay, that's fine. Was your verdict on March the 2nd, 2023, in any way, with any influenced in any way with any communications by the clerk of court, Becky Hill, in this case? Want me to
Yes,
read it
ma'am.
again?
Yes, please.
All right. Was your verdict influenced in any way by the communications of the clerk of court in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
And how was it influenced? The juror. And to you,
Thank you, Janet. We are live. Thanks for being here, everyone.
Just a minute. Now, you about to do something that I've already said I'm not going to allow to happen. And that is, you've got standing next to you a member of the team that represents the juror. And I can tell you, Mr. Harpootlian, I made a ruling early on that when Mr. McCullough was in court and when Mr. Bland was in court, that I was not going to allow the attorneys to participate in formulating the procedure for this hearing. But I have not, I indicated that I would not allow the jury, the lawyers for jurors, to participate in this hearing. And so I'm not going to do that. I can just tell you that. And if what you want to do is by indirection tell me what the lawyers for the juror would say, I'm not going to accept that.
Your Honor, my understanding is she'd like to approach to ask if the juror can be excused.
No, not yet.
Your Honor, I actually approached.
Now, Mr. McCullough can be excused. There's still plenty of you lawyers and you can do it. I didn't want him to come to begin with, so I love him dearly, and he can go anytime. And I speak on behalf of Amy McCullough, his wife, when I tell you that.
Your Honor, I actually was here to let both of them know that I was going to ask to approach to talk about a security issue very
All right,
quickly.
well, come up here. Lord
Security
knows, I'll tell you
issue?
what, Murphy's Law. What can go wrong will go wrong at the worst possible time, and Murphy was an optimist.
Security issue? What the fuck? Here we go. Well, this can't be good. Now they're leaving? Oh my Lanta, folks. Thanks for being here. This is some wild stuff right now. If you're coming in late, again, the first juror said her decision was affected by Becky Hill's comments and actions. And then as they were going to go to the next juror, the judge said that all the other jurors were watching the prior juror on court TV on their phones. And now we hear that there's a security issue that she's tending to. This is a full-on clown show, folks. Embarrassing. Embarrassing. I mean, if you are anyone to do with the court, if you have anything to do with this courtroom right now, you know everyone is watching. You don't tell, like, that's not the first thing you say to the jurors. No one's paying attention to the jurors in the jury room with their phones out watching it. There's not a bailiff or someone in there like, hey, put your phone back in your pocket. Give me your phones. How could that be allowed? How did that happen? How did that happen? Someone explain to me how all the jurors had their cell phones and were just on court TV and like it was allowed. Well, thanks for being here, everybody. We are 55 subscribers away from 12,000, folks. And I can't thank you all for being here and your support, your likes and your shares and your comments. It all means the world to me. If you don't know, I quit my job of 18 years right after the first Murdaugh trial. I was planning on just doing something other than what I'm doing right now, but my tweets did so good because of you guys during the Murdaugh trial that I decided to try to live stream on YouTube, which now almost a year later I'm still trying to do. And it's because of your guys' support. So truly from the bottom of my heart, thank you for all the likes, comments, just words of encouragement. It means a lot. Not gonna cry. Not gonna cry, but thank you. It really does. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. So thank you. Now I need to get angry again because this piece of shit's on my screen. And if you saw the my first stream, which was the Gwyneth Paltrow trial, after I was tweeting this, do you guys remember what my first stream looked like when I was streaming the Gwyneth Paltrow trial, as opposed to this stream? I mean, leaps and bounds, folks, leaps and bounds. And now I'm making videos that are doing successful. It's been a wild ride. Oh, Andrea, who is always so supportive. Holy shit, Andrea. Just sent a $50 Cash App. And it says for 2024 on some different ish. Andrea, thank you so much. Your support means everything.
Please
You're
be
always
seated.
so kind and supportive. Thank you. All right, we're back.
Let me place upon the record two things. First of all, I have made certain now that a bailiff will be in the jury room with these jurors. Why I announced that many times, that is the way it was to run. Why there wasn't a juror in the jury room is something I don't know, but I have asked that be followed rigidly. I've also asked, I don't go into jury rooms, never have and never will, but I asked the bailiff to tell the jurors that they are not to discuss any testimony that any of them are giving. I asked Juror Z whether she was comfortable, because I would be glad to place her in a separate room so that she's not set upon by the rest of the jurors. She gave me a big smile and said she was perfectly comfortable. And I said, at any time you're not comfortable, you simply tell me, and I will have you placed in either my office or another jury room. So that's where I left it with Juror Z. I think she's fine, but I just wanted to make sure of that. And again, on the record, the conversation I had with her was outside the jury room. I don't go into the jury room for any reason. Very good. Mr. Bailiff? Yes, sir.
For the record, Your Honor, we would ask, as jurors are brought in, we would ask that you ask them if they watched or heard anything this morning from their cell phone or other.
Shut up, Poot. Grandkids Galore, thank you so much for being a beau. Just got a $10 Venmo from Dan Coombs. Thank you so much. That's a great work. Thank you, Dan.
Jurors about what occurred in here this morning with Juror Z, and if so, what was it?
I'm going to ask each one of them something about this. Whether it's exactly what you want, I don't know. But I will ask them something about this or make some direction to them about it. I'm not going to get into who shot John about what they said in that jury room today. I'm not going to do that. But I will try to, as best I can, deal with this question of of them hearing parts of the examination of Juror Z.
Your Honor, this morning I think you already instructed them not to discuss these matters among themselves. So if they have violated that, again, I think it's important for you to make that inquiry.
I'm going to make it as I see fit.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. All right. Bring me Juror C. C.
A higher power wants us to be able to watch a Murdaugh trial with J. Raising hands, light skin tone.
And I'm muted. Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you so much, Grandkids Galore. Debbie coming in with $10 super chat. Thank you. Thank you so much, Debbie. Dan, guys, I'm probably going to wait to the end to thank everyone because I don't want to pause during this hearing. I got a lot of heat during the when I did the live stream Donna's arrest that I interrupted too much. So I'll say thank you in the chat and thank you at the end. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Grandkids Galore. Thank you, Deja. You guys are so kind. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Deja, Debbie, Sarah, Grandkids Galore.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give today to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
I will address you as Juror C because I've designated from your juror number at Colleton to letters of the alphabet. I am trying to protect the anonymity of the jurors as best I can. I can't promise you with all the time that they spent seeing you all in the trial of the case that they won't figure out who is who. But on my record here, which is all I can control, I will address you as Juror C.
Yes, ma'am.
And before I begin, I understand that there may have been some cell phones activated in the jury room and the watching of the questioning of Juror Z. Did that take place?
I know people were on cell phones, but I'm not sure of what they were watching.
Were you on a telephone?
No, ma'am, I was not.
Very good. I don't think I have to go any further then. Thank you, sir. You rendered a verdict on March the 2nd, 2022. The verdict was read in open court, signed by the foreperson of the jury, and the court then said, Madam Forelady and members of the jury, if that is your verdict of each and every juror, please let it be known by raising your hand. The transcript then indicated that the jurors complied. The jury was individually polled, and each was asked, was that your verdict? Each juror answered yes. Was that an accurate answer about your verdict at that time?
Yes, ma'am.
Was your verdict based entirely on the testimony, evidence, and law presented to you in the case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you hear Becky Hill, Clerk of Court for Colleton County, make any comment about this case before your verdict?
No, ma'am. I wasn't privy to any of that.
All right, sir. Was your verdict on March the 2nd, 2023 influenced in any way with any communications by the Clerk of Court, Becky Hill, in this case?
No, ma'am, it was not.
Very good. That completes my questions. You may retire to the jury room.
Thank you, Mom and Dad, for gifting a membership. Louie got it. Welcome, Louie. And if you're wondering why we do Capri Suns in the chat, that's from this trial, folks. We found out that this murderer here prefers orange Capri Suns, which was our first evidence that he's a murderer. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Really appreciate it. I mean, they're going to question Becky after this, but does it matter what she says when they question Becky anymore? Does it matter? Does it matter? Does anything matter other than what that first juror said? Will anything change? I'm not an attorney, but will anything change what that first juror said?
Juror F.
What that first juror said, that her decision was influenced by Becky Hill. I mean, at that, to me, it's endgame. I don't know what the legal precedent is, or you know what you need to. To me, that's endgame. But what do I know? Not a lot. Janet says Judge Toll is a former Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of South Carolina. She was the first woman and the first Roman Catholic to serve as a Chief Justice. Thank you, Janet, for that info. Robert agrees with me. I mean, I just can't imagine how they couldn't. Brad. Charlotte, welcome. Pussycat, welcome. Thanks for being here, everyone. Louie, Shelly, Drew, Antron, Roseanne, Kim, Smith, Cyan. Only one so far, Cyan.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I have designated the jurors by a letter, and that's how I will be addressing you this morning, and I will be addressing you as Juror F. Now, I realize that you folks were on the jury for a long time, over 6 weeks, and people may know who you are, despite my efforts to protect this record. But to the extent I can, I will protect this record and your anonymity as a juror in this record. So just wanted you to understand why I'm addressing you as Juror F.
Juror F, as in the first trial was fucked. F as in fuck.
This morning it was brought to my attention that some jurors were perhaps on their phones listening or looking at a broadcast of the questions to the first juror I examined, Juror Z. Is that something that you know anything about or experienced?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you activate your own phone?
Another juror did.
All right. And will what you saw and what you looked at in any way affect your testimony as you're about to give it?
No, ma'am.
Very good. You rendered a verdict on March the 2nd, 2023. The verdict was read in open court and signed by the foreperson of the jury. The court then said, Madam Forelady and members of the jury, if that is your verdict of each and every juror, please let it be known by raising your right hand. The transcript that indicates that the juror complied. The jury was individually polled and each was asked, was that your verdict? Each juror answered yes. Each juror was then asked, is that still your verdict? Each juror answered yes. Was your answer an accurate answer about your verdict at that time?
Yes, ma'am.
Was your verdict based entirely on the testimony, evidence, and law presented to you in this case?
Absolutely.
Did you hear Ms. Becky Hill make any comment about this case before your verdict?
No, ma'am.
Was your verdict on March the 2nd, 2023 influenced in any way by any communications by the clerk of court, Becky Hill, in this case?
Absolutely not.
Very good. That's all the questions I have.
I'd like to discuss the matter with you before we finish with this judge.
You may go to your jury room and keep yourself ready. I don't know if I'm going to have any further questions, but as far as I'm concerned, the questions that I'm asking are at an end, but I need to consult with the attorneys before I can dismiss you. You may go to your jury room.
Of course this quibbly bitch has something to say.
The clerk of court for Barnwell County, who worked as an assistant to Ms. Hill during this trial and interviewing the alternate juror who was wasn't needed, wasn't dismissed for any particular reason other than it wasn't needed. Both of them indicate they believe that Ms. Hill transported this juror by her personal vehicle or a bailiff's vehicle at least once during the trial. So I would ask you ask her during the trial, did Becky Hill either drive or ride with you in a vehicle before or after court? If so, what, if anything, did Becky Hill and you discuss?
What's your position on that, Mr. Waters?
Your Honor, I have no objection to that.
She drove her home? What the fuck, folks? What the fuck is happening? She drove her home.
This is Juror C, returning to the stand.
What the fuck? Everyone get in Becky's minivan. We're going home.
The same juror.
Capri Suns are in the back. It's like a soccer game. The juror got in the clown car that runs this. I think that the official car is a clown car, so the the juror got in the back of the clown car on her way home. Becky's clown car taxi service.
Thank you, ma'am. Of course, you're still under oath. And I have this question for you. During the trial, did Becky Hill either drive or ride with you in a vehicle before or after court? If so, what, if anything, did Becky Hill and you discuss? Do you recall that at all?
Could you please ask that again?
Ma'am?
Could you please ask the question again?
Sure.
Sorry.
During the trial, did Becky Hill either drive or ride with you in a vehicle before or after court?
No, ma'am.
All right. Then I don't need to ask the second question. This will conclude your testimony. You are dismissed. I'm going to ask the jurors to stay with me until I've completed this process, and then you are free to go. Thank you so much.
Next one's
All right. Mr. Harpootlian's question, Juror F, is Court's Exhibit number 4.
L.
All right. Bring in Juror L.
L as in Lima?
L, as in Lima, yes.
Lima? Would I go with Lima? L is in Larry David. I'd probably go L as in Larry David. I don't think I'd go with Lima. L as in the first trial was an L. L as in liar, yeah. Oh, that's the military way? Of course it is. That makes sense. I'm not very bright. Thank you, guys. L is in Lima.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this case today to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Lima, my bad, guys. I'm an idiot.
Thank you so much. I have redesignated each of the jurors in the record for this case. And so I will be referring to you as Juror L, as in Lima. And, you know, y'all are all on this jury. If these people saw you for 6 weeks, they may know or be able to identify you, but I'm trying to, as best I can, protect your anonymity. You don't have to talk to anybody about this at all. That's purely your prerogative.
Justice
Oh, yeah. Juror L, before you came to testify and were sworn, you were in the jury room with the other jurors. I understand that some may have looked at their cell phones and looked at pictures of the proceedings as they involved the first juror who was examined. Did you see any of that?
People had their phones out, yes, ma'am.
Did you look at any of it?
No, ma'am.
All right. And I don't need to ask you anything further about that. You rendered a verdict on March the 2nd, 2023. The verdict was read in open court, signed by the foreperson of the jury, and the court then said, Madam Forelady and members of the jury, if that is your verdict of each and every juror, please let it be known by raising your right hand. The transcript then indicates the jurors complied. The jury was then individually polled, and each was asked, was that your verdict? Each juror answered yes. Each juror was then asked, is that still your verdict? And each juror answered yes. Was that an accurate answer about your verdict at that time?
Yes, Madam Justice, yes.
Was your verdict based entirely on the testimony, evidence, and law presented to you in this case?
Yes, Justice. Yes, ma'am.
Did you hear Becky Hill, the clerk of court for Colleton County, make any comment about this case before your verdict?
No, ma'am.
Was your verdict on March 2nd, 2023 influenced in any way with any communications by the clerk of court, Becky Hill, in this case?
No, ma'am.
Very good. Juror L, thank you, and you are dismissed. I will send word back by the bailiff if there are any further questions. I always ask the lawyers that before I dismiss the juror completely and go to the next one. Please know that I will keep you in case there's anything I need to have the whole jury for at the end of this proceeding. Then you're free to go, and you don't have to speak to a soul about any of this. Thank you, sir.
So here's the question. If none of the other jurors corroborate this, like, what happens? Do they question the juror who said something more and determine their credibility? I don't know what happens. If everyone else says nothing, it's just that
further?
Mr.
Right.
State, Your Honor.
Nothing to the defense, Your Honor.
Very good.
It's a miracle.
Mr. Bailiff?
If only juror C said...
Bring me juror E.
E is in Edward?
Yes.
I wonder if there'll be further questioning from Judge Toll to juror Z, or did she dismiss her? I don't even know. Thanks for being here, everyone. Again, appreciate you spending the time here with us watching this wild clown show. 51 more subs to 12K, folks. We're on our way.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this case to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
E as in egg
Sir,
juror.
I will be addressing you as juror E this morning. I've designated the jurors by letter. I realize that you sat on this jury in Colleton County for a lengthy period of time, 6 weeks or better, and people may know who you are, but to the extent I can make this record a record that protects your anonymity, I am doing that. You don't have to speak to a soul about this matter after you're finished, and your service will be complete, as I'm sure you thought it would be when you rendered your verdict. I have these questions. You rendered a verdict. Oh, yes. It was brought to my attention that cell phones of the jurors were accessed in the jury room for a time, and that some were able to examine the broadcast of the testimony of the first juror called Juror Z. Was your cell phone one of those activated to look at the proceedings?
No, ma'am.
Did you look at the proceedings on any other cell phone?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. Now, you rendered your verdict on March the 2nd, 2023. The verdict was read in open court, signed by the foreperson of the jury. The court then said, Madam Forelady and members of the jury, if that is your verdict of each and every juror, please let it be known by raising your hand. The transcript then indicates the jurors complied. The jury was individually polled, and each was asked, was that your verdict? Each juror answered yes. Each juror was then asked, is that still your verdict? And each juror answered yes. Was that an accurate answer about your verdict at that time?
It was.
Was your verdict based entirely upon the testimony, evidence, and law presented to you in this case?
Yes.
Did you hear Ms. Becky Hill make any comment about this case before your verdict?
No.
Was your verdict on March the 2nd, 2023 influenced in any way with any communications by the clerk of court, Becky Hill, in this case?
No.
Thank you, sir. That completes my questions. You may go to the jury room. I always consult with the lawyers to see if there are any further questions. If there are not, please stay with the jury until I dismiss all of you. I'm hoping that won't be too much longer. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So is no one going to fess up to watching court TV?
Right.
They're not going to admit to watching court TV because they were watching the stream. Ask them if they were watching the Shaming of Jay and if they hit that like button.
Juror P, as in Paul.
Juror P, as in Pootie Tang, as in Pootie and the Blowhards, as in Pootie and the Quibblers, the Pootie and the Quibbly bitches. How many? That's a good question. How many have we had so far? Was it 4 or 5 so far? I haven't been counting.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this case to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
I will be addressing you as Juror P, as in Paul. I've tried to redesignate the jurors without their number and, of course, without their name. Now, I realize you spent 6 long weeks hearing this case in open court in Colleton, and many people may know who you are anyway. But to the extent that I can make this record such that it protects your anonymity, I'm going to do that.
Yes,
and you certainly are not obligated to talk with one soul about this matter after your testimony is complete.
Okay.
Juror E, I understand that before I began to receive your testimony, that at the beginning when Juror Z was being examined, that some jurors may have had cell phones and accessed the proceedings. Did you have your cell phone?
No, ma'am.
Did you examine any cell phone broadcasts?
There was a couple people, but I have no clue what they were viewing.
Yes, sir. Okay. Did any of this activity by other people in viewing this material have any impact on you in terms of your testimony today?
No, ma'am.
All right.
Just based on the voice, I'm fairly certain this is that young, like 20-something-year-old juror. I could be totally off. Just based on the voice, that young juror, I think he was on NBC Good Morning or something. I don't know if you guys remember him, but anyway.
You rendered a verdict on March the 2nd, 2023. The verdict was read in open court, signed by the foreperson of the jury. The court then said, Madam Forelady and members of the jury, if that is your verdict of each and every juror, please let it be known by raising your right hand. The transcript then indicates the jurors complied. The jury was individually polled, and each was asked, was that your verdict? Each juror answered yes. Each juror was then asked, is that still your verdict? And each juror answered yes. Was that an accurate answer about your verdict at that time?
Yes, ma'am.
Was your verdict based entirely on the testimony, evidence, and law presented to you in this case?
It was.
Did you hear Becky Hill, Clerk of Court for Clarendon County, make any comment about this case before your verdict?
I did. Yes, ma'am.
What did she say?
It was the day that Mr. Murdoch was taking the stand.
Yes, sir.
Uh-oh.
And
Uh-oh.
she made a comment about watch his body language.
Oh, my God.
About
Watch his body language.
his
Number
body
2.
language, I see.
Yes, ma'am.
And what else?
Number 2.
That's all I can recall.
All right, sir. Was your verdict on March the 2nd, 2023 influenced in any way with any communications by the clerk of court, Becky Hill, in this case?
No.
All right. That completes my questions, Juror E. Or P. Juror P. You may go to your jury room. You are free to refuse to discuss this with anybody. That's your prerogative. You're not required to talk about this anymore. That's your business. I've tried to do the best I could to confine this thing, but I appreciate your service. Thank you, sir, and you may go to your jury room.
Thank you, ma'am.
So here's the thing. While it did not affect his personal opinion, it obviously gives credence and legitimacy to the first juror who also said they said something to her. And she said her opinion was affected. So, I mean, we have two jurors that are absolutely confirming that she said something to them to watch his body language that she shouldn't have fucking done. Didn't affect this juror's decision, but affected the other one. I don't see how this isn't a retrial.
State, Your Honor.
All right, bye.
But I'm just a moron yelling on a screen.
Questions by the state?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
All right, by the defendant?
Nothing, Your Honor.
All right. Bring me Juror O. O.
Juror O, as in, oh my Lanta, I cannot believe this is happening.
The whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
Good morning, Juror O. I have designated the jurors by letter in this record so as to try to protect your anonymity as best I can. Now, I realize you sat on this case for 6 weeks in open court in Colleton County, and many may know your identity. But to the extent I can, with the record of this matter, I'm trying to preserve your identity from any disclosure in this court.
Thanks for the gifted membership.
Juror O,
Thanks for
I
your content
understand that several jurors may have activated their cell phone during the testimony of the first juror and looked at the proceedings. Are you aware of that?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you activate your cell phone?
No, ma'am, I did not.
Did you watch any of the other cell phones?
No, ma'am, I did not.
Very good.
I take it back. This is absolutely that juror. I take it back. This is the young juror. 100% this is the voice of that young juror. I was wrong on the last one.
You rendered a verdict on March the 2nd, 2023. The verdict was read in open court, signed by the foreperson of the jury. The court then said, Madam Forelady and members of the jury, if that is your verdict of each and every juror, please let it be known by raising your right hand. The transcript then indicates the jurors complied. The jury was individually polled, and each was asked, was that your verdict? Each juror answered yes. Each juror was then asked, is that still your verdict? And each juror answered yes. Was that an accurate answer about your verdict at that time?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
All right. Did you hear Ms. Becky Hill make any comment about this case before your verdict?
No, ma'am, I did not.
Was your verdict on March the 2nd, 2023 influenced in any way with any communications by the clerk of court, Becky Hill, in this matter?
No, ma'am, it was not.
Very good. That concludes my questions. You may return to your jury room. I ask that you stay until I've completed the questioning of the jurors. You don't have to talk to a soul about this matter. It's purely your prerogative. And if you have any difficulties in that matter, let me know.
Yes, ma'am.
You are excused.
Mr.
Very quickly, I think question 2. I don't know that we did question 2.
Resume your seat. Was your verdict based entirely on the testimony, evidence, and law presented to you in this case?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
Very good. You're excused. Thank you, Mr. Warder. All right. Bring me juror Y. Mr. Waters, thank you.
Juror Y is, why the fuck is this happening? So has not one juror admitted to watching on their phone? Is no one going to fess up? No one's going to admit it.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this case to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you.
Good morning, sir. I will be addressing you as Juror Y. I've tried to re-identify the jurors so as to preserve your anonymity in this record. Now, I know that you sat on this case for 6 weeks in open court, and many have seen you. They may know who you are. But as to the extent I can preserve your anonymity in the record of this case, I have tried to do so. You are completely free not to talk to a soul about this matter. That's always your prerogative. I understand that before you came out here, when the first juror to be examined was being examined, that some jurors may have activated their cell phones. Were you one who activated your cell phone?
No, ma'am.
Were you aware that some cell phones might have been activated?
I was aware after that.
All right, sir. Did you hear anything about the examination of the first juror?
No, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. You rendered a verdict on March the 2nd, 2023. The verdict was read in open court, signed by the foreperson of the jury. The court then said, Madam Forelady and members of the jury, if that is your verdict of each and every juror, please let it be known by raising your right hand. The transcript then indicates the jurors complied. The jury was individually polled, and each was asked, was that your verdict? Each juror answered yes. Each juror was then asked, is that still your verdict? And each juror answered yes. Was that an accurate answer about your verdict at that time?
Yes, ma'am.
Was your verdict based entirely on the testimony, evidence, and law presented to you in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you hear Ms. Becky Hill make any comment about this case before your verdict?
Not to me, ma'am.
Did you hear her make a comment to anybody else?
Not that I'm aware, ma'am.
All right.
That was a long
so
pause.
You don't remember any details
That was a
of any
long
conversation?
pause.
No, ma'am.
All right, sir. Was your verdict on March the 2nd, 2023, influenced in any way by any communications by the clerk of court, Becky Hill, in this case?
No, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. That completes my questions. I am going to excuse you. Stay together with the other jurors until I've completed my examination, and then you will be free to go. Thank you so much.
That seems sus, as the kids say. Sus. S as in sus.
Anything further from the state? From the defense?
Your Honor.
Very good.
C as in cap. That seemed like cap.
Yes, this one. Bring me juror W.
W as in what the fuck is going on? Alec is drawing the S that we all drew in middle school. That's what he's drawing right now. 50 more subs away from 12,000, folks. Thanks for being here.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this case to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'll address you as Juror W. I have redesignated by letter the identities of the jurors as I question them today.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, you sat on this jury for 6 long weeks, and I'm sure that those who were there in the trial for a long period of time may know who you are. Mm-hmm. I'm just doing the very best I can to make your participation in this matter anonymous, and I will preserve that anonymity. You are free to not talk to one single soul about this if you don't want to. That's purely your prerogative.
Yes, ma'am.
I understand that when the first juror was being questioned, some members of the jury, as you were back in the jury room, may have activated their cell phones. Were you one who activated your cell phone?
No, ma'am. I left my phone in the car.
Did you hear any information?
Left your phone in the car. All right, get this juror out of here. Whatever this juror says, I don't trust. She left her phone in the car? What?
Coming from anybody else's cell phones about that examination?
I did.
All right. Does that have any impact on the testimony you are going to give today?
No, ma'am.
Very good. You rendered a verdict on March the 2nd, 2023. The verdict was read in open court, signed by the foreperson of the jury. The court then said, Madam Forelady and members of the jury, if that is your verdict of each and every juror, please let it be known by raising your hand. The transcript then indicates the jurors complied. The jury was individually polled, and each was asked, was that your verdict? Each juror answered yes. Each juror was then asked, is that still your verdict? Each juror answered yes. Was that an accurate answer about your verdict at that time?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Was your verdict based entirely on the testimony, evidence, and law presented to you in this matter?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you hear Ms. Becky Hill, the clerk of court for Clarendon County, make any comment about this case before your verdict?
No, ma'am.
Was your verdict on March the 2nd, 2023, influenced in any way with any communications by the clerk of court, Becky Hill, in this matter?
No, ma'am.
Very good. That is the end of my questions, Madam Juror. You may go to the jury room, stay with the jury until I've completed the questioning, and then you're free to go, and you're free not to say anything you don't want to say. And if anybody upsets you or bothers you in any way about that, you just let the court know.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
If anyone upsets you or bothers you, we will make them look at Alex Murdaug's picture with no shirt on for the rest of their life. So you let us know.
Any further questions?
Nothing for the defense, Your Honor.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this case to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you.
Good morning. I will be referring to you as Juror Q. I have redesignated every one of the jurors by a letter. And in that way, I'm trying to protect your anonymity in these proceedings. Now, I realize that you spent 6 long weeks hearing this case in open court in Colleton County. And some folk may know who you are, but I'm trying to protect your anonymity in these proceedings as best I can. You don't have to speak to a soul about these proceedings.
Q as in quibbling bitch.
After you have completed your testimony. That's purely up to you. And if anybody hassles you about anything, the court stands ready to assist. You rendered a verdict on March the 2nd, 2023. The verdict was read in open court, signed by the foreperson of the jury. The court then said, Madam Forelady and members of the jury, if that is your verdict of each and every juror, please let it be known by raising your hand. The transcript then indicates the jurors complied. The jury was individually polled, and each was asked, was that your verdict? Each juror answered yes. Each juror was then asked, is that still your verdict? Each juror answered yes. Was that an accurate answer?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
About your verdict at the time?
Yes.
All right. Was your verdict based entirely on the testimony, evidence, and law presented to you in this case?
Yes, it was.
Did you hear Ms. Becky Hill make any comment about this case before your verdict?
No, ma'am.
Was your verdict on March the 2nd, 2023 influenced in any way with any communication by the clerk of court, Becky Hill, in this case?
No, ma'am, it was not.
Very good.
The phone questions.
You may be excused, and if you'll just stay in the jury room
Creighton's
until
about to tell her.
we've completed examination of all the jurors. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Very briefly, I know we were doing the cell phone inquiry
Yes.
with various jurors.
Yes.
I don't know if you wanted to have that with this particular juror as well.
Sure.
Good job, Creighton.
I understand that before I began questioning you or the other jurors, on the questioning of the first jurors, some jurors in the assembly room may have activated their cell phones. Were you one of the jurors that activated your cell phone?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Were you watching my channel?
Was anything that you heard at that time something that has any influence or effect on the testimony you now give under oath?
No, ma'am.
All right.
There it is. He admitted
Thank
it.
you. Anything further? You may go to the jury room.
Were you watching The Shaming of Jay? Did you subscribe and smash the like button? You know Quibbly Bitch is going to say something right now. You just know it.
For the state.
Nothing, Your Honor. Nothing, Your Honor.
All right.
Wow.
Bring
Nothing
me
from
juror
Quibbly.
K.
Wow, this poll is wild. 102 votes. 51% think that Alex should get a retrial. 49% say he shouldn't. Wow, split down the middle, folks.
Yes, thank you.
Good morning. I will be addressing you as Juror K. I redesignated each of you jurors and gave you a letter for purposes of this hearing. I'm trying to protect your anonymity as best I can. Now, I realize you sat for 6 long weeks on this case in Colleton County, and many folk may know who you are. But on the record of this matter, as best I can, I'm trying to preserve your anonymity. please know that you don't have to answer anybody's questions about this matter in any way, shape, or form. Purely up to you. And if anything is done that you feel is harassing or makes you uncomfortable, you contact the court. We'll try to do as best I can to help in that situation.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I understand that during the testimony of the first juror, some opened their cell phones in the jury room, in our jury assembly room here. Were you one who opened her cell phone?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you listen to or watch the broadcast of that first juror's examination?
We were on Facebook.
Ma'am?
I was on Facebook.
It was on Facebook, and you watched it?
When we closed it.
All right. Did anything that you heard in that Facebook cell phone access impact or influence your testimony in this matter in any way?
No.
All right. You rendered a verdict on March the 2nd, 2023. The verdict was read in open court, signed by the foreperson of the jury. The court then said, Madam Forelady and members of the jury, if that is your verdict of each and every juror, please let it be known by raising your right hand. The transcript then indicates the jurors complied. The jury was individually polled, and each was asked.
Good question by Shelley. Is Court TV on Facebook right now? If they're not streaming on Facebook, I am.
Was that your verdict? Each juror answered yes. Each juror was then asked, is that still your verdict? Each juror answered yes. Was that an accurate answer about your verdict at that time?
Yes.
Was your verdict based entirely on the testimony, evidence, and law presented to you in this case?
Yes.
Did you hear Ms. Becky Hill, the clerk of court for Colleton County, make any comment about this case before your verdict?
No.
Was your verdict on March the 2nd, 2023, influenced in any way with any communications by the clerk of court, Becky Hill, in this case?
No.
Thank you, ma'am. That completes my questions. I'll let you go to the jury room now. I'll then ask the attorneys whether there are any further questions. If there are not, please just stay in the jury assembly room until I give you the word that you are all to come out one more time, and I dismiss you. Thank you, ma'am. For the state.
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Nothing for the defense, Your Honor.
Very good. This then completes the questioning of the jurors. I will ask the jurors to come into the open courtroom again, thank them, and dismiss them. Anything further before I do that?
None from the state, Your Honor.
Ooh, this might work out good. If they take lunch at 12 and come back at 1, I'll be able to stream from 1 to 1:45 if that's when they question Becky.
I would move for the record that I be able to question Juror Z to follow up on what I believe the court is confused about.
Very good. I deny the request. Anything further? All right, bring me the jury.
I love her, man. Denied, biatch. Denied. She's amazing. Very well denied. Very well denied. Judge Toll came to bring the pain today.
Puda.
Sam Ayeb says on Court TV, their poll is saying 40% say no to a new trial, and they've got like 9,000 people in their chat, and it was like 30-something people say yes to a new trial. I personally am of the belief that he should get a retrial. I mean, I think he's guilty as hell. I think he should get a retrial. That's just me.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, that completes the court's examination of the jurors in this matter. I can only deeply apologize to you for having to inconvenience you so long after the trial of this case to come here, and I very much appreciate your candor. There are no right or wrong answers to the questions I asked you, but I think each of you, to the best of your ability, answered the questions, and I am deeply grateful for that, as is the state of South Carolina, as is the defendant. You don't have to speak to a soul about this matter if you don't want to. That's purely your prerogative. If there's any difficulty you encounter about this hearing that I can help with, please contact the court, and I'll be happy to do so. You are dismissed this time. You may go. Thank you for your service. Excuse the jurors.
You may now excuse the jury.
You will bring the jury.
Now what?
All right, Mr. Waters, is the clerk of court available?
Oh, boy.
Yes, ma'am. It's my understanding she is, and the state's prepared to call her when the court is ready.
Oh, boy.
All right.
But I believe she's
Let's do it.
at a location. Mr. Lewis is here just a block or two away, so if we take a brief recess, we'd be prepared to present her after that.
Bring her now.
Well, I will entertain going on and taking an early lunch break. I don't know how long Ms. Hill's testimony is going to take, but if that might be a better thing than hanging around here, I think that's what I would prefer to do. Mr. Harpootlian?
Your Honor, I need sustenance.
Okay. Well, good. I think I will join you in that. What I will do is I will recess court until 1:15. Please return at 1:15.
All right. I'm setting up a stream for 1:15, folks. I'll be able to stream a half hour before I got to go. All right, guys. I'm going to end. Let me set it up as we speak. 1:15. If you're not on Eastern Standard Time, that's in 1.5 hours. 1 hour and a half. 1:15 next. Create event. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you all so much for watching this. Let me see if this sets up in time, and I'll portal into the stream at 1:15. This is going to be interesting to see so let me see if I can. Thanks everyone for being here. Thanks for all. Let me thank everyone. Before I let everyone go, I got to thank all the people that were so kind to get memberships and Venmo. 1 second. Let me just see if I can set up this portal here. All right, who did we get? We had fan funding. We had Jan, member for 3 months. Jan giving out 5 memberships. Catherine, $2 that said Murdaugh is guilty. Joanne gifting out a membership. Jersey Jen says, Jay, you rock, never change, $2. Janet says, Jay curses, we love it, and if you don't, kindly take yourself out the exit. Laura said, $4.99 in a world full of Nancy's, be a J. BZ49, a member for 2 months. Grandkid Galore became a member.
High-speed chases.
Whoa. Sarah, court report of $5. Clearly a higher power wants us to be able to watch a murder trial with Jay. Debbie, $9.99 super chat. Deja Vu, $9.99 super chat. My mom and dad gifted a membership. Indy Cindy became a beau. Louie, $20 super chat. Thanks for the gifted membership. Thanks for your content and the lives. Publicly Buzz Steve, my beautiful boys, gave a membership. Thank you all so much. See you guys in at 1:15 in approximately an hour and a half. Thank you all. I love you guys. Thank you so much for your support.